In 670 CE, the death of Emperor Harshavardhana left northern India without a central administration. Because no successor was strong enough to command the loyalty of his governors, the once unified territory shatters into dozens of competing regional factions. When a strong central leader dies without a clear, undisputed successor, it creates a power vacuum. The overarching authority disappears, and the political center of gravity collapses. This collapse initiated the early medieval era, a period of sudden, intense political fragmentation. Without an emperor to enforce the old borders, local chieftains and regional lords seized the opportunity. They redrew the map of India based entirely on their own military ambitions. Out of that chaos, three regional powers emerged to fill the void: the Pratiharas in the west, the Palas in the east, and the Rashtrakutas in the south. Almost immediately, their expanding borders crashed into each other. This relentless warfare drained their treasuries, exhausted their armies, and stressed the outer boundaries of their kingdoms. Even as empires commissioned magnificent temples and patronized incredible works of art, continuous military spending eroded their underlying strength. These kingdoms prioritized the control of central Indian trade routes and fertile river valleys over the maintenance of frontier security. By pulling their best troops and resources into the interior to fight one another, they stripped the western mountain passes of the garrisons required to repel outside incursions. By the 8th century, that vulnerability invited a series of violent incursions. Waves of Turkic and Afghan forces began moving through those unguarded passes into the Indian subcontinent. It is easy to assume these early attackers wanted to claim land, but men like Mahmud of Ghazni had no interest in governing India or managing its people. Their campaigns were calculated extraction operations. They targeted wealthy temple cities to strip them of gold, silver, and jewels, intending only to fund their own distinct empires back in Central Asia. These raids were violent, temporary storms that left cities in ruins. Yet once the invaders retreated with their loot, the fractured regional borders of northern India remained intact. That dynamic shifted in the late 12th century with the arrival of a ruler from the Ghor region of modern-day Afghanistan, Muhammad Ghori. Ghori looked at the wealthy, divided regional kingdoms and saw an opportunity for expansion. He didn't come to loot the treasury and leave. He came to occupy the territory and rule it. His initial attempt was stopped at the First Battle of Tarain in 1191. Prithvi Raj Chauhan, the ruler of Delhi, mounted a fierce regional resistance and repelled the Afghan army. But Ghori analyzed the defeat, rebuilt a larger, highly mobile cavalry force, and returned the very next year. At the Second Battle of Tarain in 1192, he broke Chauhan's defenses and secured the victory. The defeat at Tarain in 1192 dismantled the network of northern regional kingdoms. In its place, a permanent administrative center was established in Delhi, moving the region from autonomous local rule toward a centralized foreign empire. Following Ghori's death in 1206, his top slave general, Qutbuddin Aibak, took command of the conquered Indian territories and officially established the Delhi Sultanate. This animated map shows how dozens of competing, fragmented kingdoms were rapidly consolidated into a single, centralized bloc governed from the new capital in Delhi. The new administration systematically dismantled the old regional structures. They replaced local chieftains with appointed provincial governors, enforced strict price controls on essential goods like grain and horses, and maintained a massive, unified standing army. To lubricate this massive new economy, the Sultanate replaced dozens of distinct local currencies with a standardized monetary system. Coins stamped with Arabic inscriptions of royal authority became the single legal tender from the northwest down to the Deccan Plains. Imagine the reality of living through this transition. A merchant or farmer who had only ever answered to a nearby Hindu king woke up to find their taxes, their local markets, and their physical security managed by a vast bureaucracy rooted in Central Asian traditions. The redrawing of these boundaries initiated centuries of intense social and cultural exchange. You can see the physical evidence of this shift in the surviving architecture. Early Sultanate rulers introduced construction techniques previously unseen in India, building massive domes, true vaulted arches, and monumental towers like the Qutub Minar. Beneath these new stone arches, a diverse society formed. Sufi mystics and Bhakti poets mingled in the same urban centers, and Persian administrative terms blended with local Indian dialects. While political boundaries are never permanent and are constantly redrawn by human ambition, the cultural fusions born from those conquests leave a permanent mark on history.